But people are always stressing about circular pizza, but any shape's fine. Most of the pizzas I make come out really funny shapes. Making our pizza is simple. It's like 5 ingredients: flour, water, yeast, salt, and olive oil. You should do it because it's going to be better than anything you can get at the store. Alright, let's start with grabbing our flour. We need 500 grams. Now we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. Now we need 338 grams of water. Perfect. You're going to want to put it in the microwave for about 40 seconds. "108 degrees, that's perfect. Yeast has to be within 105 to 115. Stir for about a minute until it becomes a tan liquid. Alright, this is the best part. Bring our flour over. Mix in the salt a little bit. Add your mixture. And now you're going to stir it together. I rotate the bowl while scraping along the sides. Alright, once your dough has some form, just dump it onto the table. Press into it. And fold it into itself like you're folding sheets. You want to push your dough forward. You want to use the friction of the table to stretch out your glutens. Right when your dough starts to feel like it's getting too sticky to handle, now we're going to add the olive oil. 1 tablespoon. Now this is going to feel a little weird. The reason we add the olive oil in at this point is so that it seals the moisture in. And give it time, it will mix together. For the longest time I avoided adding the olive oil at this point because I didn't like the way that it felt, but it makes a difference in the crispiness of your crust. At this point, fold it into a ball the best you can. It's still going to look really sticky and messy and not very pretty. And follow me over to the sink. Alright, soak the rag in some hot water, wring out the extra, and drape it over your dough. Now we're going to set the timer for 5 minutes. We're letting the dough rest right now. The warm rag over it is going to keep the moisture in. The reason we let it rest is so that the glutens can properly form. We're going to get a stretchier dough. Alright, we've let it rest for 5 minutes. Ooh. Now when we start kneading, you're going to notice a distinct change in texture. Just like magic. Smooth. This will make 2 pizzas. So we'll cut it in 2. It's important to shape your pizza into a ball because when you form your pizza, it's going to be circular. So you want to start with a ball. If you start with a square, you're going to get a square. So here's ball number 1. If you want to eat these pizzas now, just let them rise for 30 minutes to an hour. I think that pizza tastes best when you let it ferment in the fridge for 24 hours, 48. In fact, the dough we're going to be working with has been 72.
And that pizza's from last year, right?
Pretty much. Okay. Pizza dough just tastes so much better when you let it sit in the fridge for a few days. So make some for now and make some for later. Alright, before you start shaping it, if you want to make it into a circle, you have to make it into a ball first. Liberally dust the area I use semola flour, but you can use cornmeal or regular flour. In the beginning, when you're shaping it, you just want to slowly get a disc going. You don't want to commit too hard to any direction. All right, and once you get about to this point, start in the middle, push, and push out. Don't use a rolling pin. You're gonna squash all the bubbles. Pick it up, stretch it a little more, like that.
Yeah.
But people are always stressing about circular pizza, but any shape's fine. Most of the pizzas I make come out really funny shapes. It takes time, don't rush it. All right, look at that, it's starting to come together. Now I'm just using gravity. I'm pushing my fingers against where the edges of the crust are gonna be, and I'm letting it stretch itself. Here's a trick that I learned. Put a little flour down here. Build your pizza on the pan. The reason for this is that once we put all the toppings, whatever toppings you want, I tend to go quite liberal with my toppings. Some might say I put too much of everything on my pizza, but the one consistent with my pizza is always 3 cheeses. I don't know why, but I need to have 3 cheeses for it to feel like a pizza. Got some fresh mozzarella, and then I got this cured goat cheese. So once you have some items on there, it's a lot easier to stretch out. Got some peppers on here, I have some eggplant, and then my parents always put cashews, so I put these cashews, some garlic, and olive oil. That looks really good to me.
This is the weirdest looking pizza I've ever seen.
You can put whatever you want on your pizza, it's fine. And you'll see that after it cooks, after it bakes, it'll look amazing. So, just have fun with this part. Whatever you want. All right, and I'm feeling on a roll, so let's go ahead and do one more. I have some eggplant that I'm trying to get rid of, so I'll put a few of those on there. It looks like a hot mess right now, but I'm telling you, after it gets put in the oven, it's gonna look gourmet. All right. Just waiting for this to preheat to 550. You want it nice and hot in there. Now we just wait. The timer for 12 minutes. I like to butter the crust. Tastes delicious. All right, this next part is not for the health conscious. We're gonna pull it out. Like I said, this is not good for you, but it is good for you. Just gonna put some butter on the edges. All right, because they're thicker pizzas, I'm gonna put them in for 9 more minutes.
Okay.
All right, there's only 25 seconds, but I'm keeping an eye on it and it's ready. So I'm taking it out. Whew, look at that. Man, it is beautiful. There's no ugly pizza.